गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। शरदिन्दु विकासमन्दहासान् स्फुरदिन्दीवरलोचनाभिरामाम् अरविन्द समान सुन्दरास्याम् अरविन्दासन सुन्दरीम् उपासे। ओम। Thank you all. Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you. Sorry I could not make it. So now we will be learning about the devotion and as well as the mantras, about the mantra and power of the mantra. About the devotion, always whenever we offer any offerings to the divine, we always have to offer with devotion and dedication. I hope you all can hear me, right?
Yeah, it sounds good.
You can hear me, Swamiji?
Yes.
Thank you. So the devotion and dedication is very important because Shraddha, Bhakti and Shakti. When I was looking at about this topic to speak, of course, whenever you speak about the devotion, Navada Bhakti is one of the topics we always connect with. But the foundation of Bhakti is in the Narada Bhakti Sutras. What he says in the Saint Sage Narada about the Bhakti. Bhakti is the foundation of spiritual practice. It is both means and end itself. What is the nature of bhakti? When we learn about devotion and the surrender, in the Narada Bhakti Sutra is saying the second sutra of Naradas, Satasmin Parama Prema Rupa is bhakti. Means it is of the nature of supreme love towards to God. Means when we offer our devotion to God or love to God, total surrenderness, like Mirabai or Kabir. There are many saints who, even Narada always chants the mantra Om Namo Narayanaya. The mantra itself take you into trance and meditation because we as a human, we are in the form of Jivatmas. The Jivatma always needs to connect with Paramatma. Paramatma is the Supreme Lord, the Narayana. In the, when we take birth also, there is a connection between Jivatma and Paramatma. That is the only relationship we have before we come into this world. But all other relationships exist after we take birth. But before we take birth, we have our connection directly with Paramatma, with Narayana. In Adi Shankara also saying, how should we do bhakti? What is the power of mantra when you do bhakti and chant of the mantra? Adi Shankaracharya describing in Sivananda Lahari. It's a very great poetry. There are Ananda Lahari, Sivananda Lahari, and Saundarya Lahari. In the Sivananda Lahari, what he says, he's saying, Adi Shankaracharya is, Manaste padabje nivasatu vachastotra phanitau karau chabhyachrayam shrutirapi katha kandrana vidhau tavadhyane buddhina muddhinrayana yugalam mutri vibhave paragrandhan kaiva paramashiva jane paramatah Manaste padabje nivasatu vachastotra phanitau karau chabhyarchayam shrutirapi katha karnana vidhau tavadhyane buddhirnayana yugalam murti vibhave paragrandhan kairva paramashivajane paramataha. Beautiful shloka. It's describing about the bhakti and how should we do bhakti. Our parts of our human body, what parts should do what. It's describing very excellently, very, in the Adi Shankara is a guru, because we always praise and pray to Lord Adi Shankara. What we say is Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam. He is our lineage of gurus. The beginning from after Shiva, Lord Shiva, Adi Shankaracharya is in the row. So what he is saying is, let the heart dwell upon your two lotus-like feet. Let my words dwell on your praise. Let my two hands dwell on your worship. Let my ears dwell on hearing your holy stories. Let my mind dwell meditating on you. Let my two eyes dwell upon your beauty. Let after this I do not find any use of other great, and Adi Shankara is saying, any other great books, granthas, or any literature is nothing. And O Supreme Lord, give me to that concentration where I can see you like this. That meaning is, whenever we see the Lord, whenever we do the japa, whenever we do the mantra of Lord, you have to think our actions has a meaning. Like, body is doing something and mind is somewhere else. That is not the thing. In the beginning, as I said, devotion has to be with dedication. Without dedication is, there is a saying in English, body present, mind absent. But you have to have a presence of mind where the body is. Because what Adi Shankara is saying, Manaste padabje nivasatu vachastotra pranitau. My heart, always my mind should be able to concentrate on your lotus feet, O Lord. And my tongue, my words, whatever I'm speaking, the speech should turn into praise of Lord, not praise of somebody else, or not. Our speech should be always praising towards to Lord or chanting towards to Lord is the best way of our speech, because when we speak, every letter is a mantra. Every letter has a power. Like in Sanskrit, there are 56 syllables. In all every syllable has a meaning and very powerful, very much power into it. It's all our bijaksharas. So when we use every word has a meaning and power. And so we should be very careful whenever we use. And the best way of using our speech towards to is praising Lord only. Of course, we need to speak for our live normal life and smooth and happy life, but no need of talking gossip or no need of talking for others negatively. Just always think positive and talk, because that word, the speech, and what Adi Shankara is saying, my speech may use for your praising only. Let my hands, these hands, I always use our hands for many karmas. We do karma yoga with hands, but always our hands to be ready for worship of Lord. Somebody says very beautifully about namaste. When we use namaste in putting two hands together, is saying namaskaram or namaste means I'm saluting the divinity within you, because the Vedic Sanatana Dharma is teaching about the divinity in humanity. In every human, there is a divine energy, divine Shakti is there. So when we doing namaste like this, so we always offering our salutations to the divinity within the other person. So beautifully, these two hands should be used to worship the Lord. And Adi Shankara is saying, my ears dwell on hearing your holy stories. Means, there is in the Vedic mantra says, Bhadram karne vishrunuyama deva, Bhadram pasye makshabharya jatra, Sthirairangi stushtuvagun sastanobhi. Meaning, O Lord, make my ears see good, listen good only, make my eyes see good only, and make my mind think only positiveness. This is the mantra from the Veda. So same meaning here Adi Shankara is saying, let my ears listen your holy stories. I don't want to hear somebody's life stories or this and that, because at the end of our life, in Bhaja Govinda shloka also Adi Shankara says, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudhamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Rakshati Dukrinkarane. At the end of our life, when we are this Atma, this Jivatma is ready to leave this planet Earth and ready to merge into the Paramatma, at that time, none of these, our wisdom, our knowledge, our study, or whatever, our name, fame, wealth, nothing will come and help us. Only one thing will help at that time, because that is the important thing in life. Because when you born, one day you will exit too. At the time of exit, you should be able to think of God. But how many people does that? It's very rare. So that is the reason you keep doing the devotion, the chant of the mantra every day in your life. Maybe at that time, because of your karmas are so fine-tuned all these years, you will think of Lord. So the prayer is in the shloka, Adi Shankara is saying, let my mind always think about you and listen my ears always your stories. And my eyes, instead of looking at some negative news channels or news or this and videos, always let my eyes meditating on you and see your beauty. The beauty of Lord is Lord has so beautiful aura. Even Shiva, any god you take, Lord Shiva, if you look at it in a level of higher consciousness, you can see Shiva as a Kalyana Shiva means give prosperous Shiva. But if you see with the negative mind, you will see Shiva as an who is in the burial ground. But Shiva has a beautiful, he is a very handsome. In the Shiva Purana, it describes about his beauty. So Adi Shankara is asking to bless us, bless me, O Lord, give me the support of nature, where I can, my ears, my eyes, my hands, my mind, my heart, everything should do on your job only. This is the biggest karma what we should practice. And how you do this? By doing the meditation, doing the japa, doing the mantra. And mantra is Om Namo Narayanaya. When you do this mantra, you are connecting yourself to the Parabrahman, the Brahman consciousness. So it's very important doing the japa every day, because by doing your japa every day, a small mantra can create punya bala in your life, in your natal birth chart in astrology. Punya is a good karma. Punya bala is a good karma with your own actions, and that can be enjoyable in this lifetime while you are live before our exit from this planet. Because whenever we get into a problem, we always think of God. Oh God, please help me. Oh God, please save me. Why should God listen to us if we think of God when we take his name only when we need him? Why does he need to? This is in our regular life also. If you want to make a friendship with someone, you always, once in a week or daily or monthly, you should be keep in touch with God, with friends, right? So same way, you have to create a connection between Jivatma and Paramatma, because that connection has been disconnected when you born. How that disconnected is, see, when a human born from mother's womb, they cut the umbilical cord. Till then, this connection from Jivatma to Paramatma is there. The moment they cut the umbilical cord, then this Jivatma is detached from Paramatma, and he was thrown into the world where is the Maya is there. Because this whole world is illusion. This whole world is Maya. So we are shifted from Paramatma into Maya. This is the where samsara. And when we come into Maya, because of Maya, we are not able to recognize the importance of Paramatma in our life until we get into trouble. Kabir Das ji says, Kabir is one of the great poet, is a devotee of Lord Krishna, Lord Rama. Dukh mein, it's a beautiful words is in Hindi. Dukh mein sumiran sab kare, sukh mein kare na koi, jo sukh mein sumiran kare, dukh kawo ko aaye. The meaning of these words are, we all remember of God in our bad times. We never want to spend some time with God when everything is good in our life. Then why we expect God to help us in our life? If you create a connection between yourself to the Paramatma, to Lord, then when you ask something from God, definitely he will listen to us. So that is the what here Adi Shankara is saying. In another verse from Mukundamala. Mukundamala is written by Kulashekara Alvar. Is the 16th verse of that Mukundamala. But Mukundamala is, it's a beautifully written that about that Mukundamala shloka in the 16th verse. Kulashekar Alvar is saying, and what is he saying about again a same pattern how Adi Shankara is describing about our parts of body. He is also asking Lord, oh Lord, how like a control of the senses, control of the sense organs to meditate on Lord, how you can control and our senses. So he's praying to Lord and he's asking, जिह्वे कीर्तय केशवं मुररिपुं चेतो भज श्रीधरं पाणिद्वन्द्व समर्चयाच्युत कथा श्रोत्रद्वयं शृणु कृष्णं लोकय लोचनद्वय हर हरे गच्छाङ्घ्रियुग्मालयम् जिघ्रघ्राण मुकुंद पाद तुलसीं मूर्धान्नमाधोक्षजाम्. In this shloka, Kulashekara Alvar is the who wrote this shloka in the Mukundamala, the 16th verse. It's a beautiful, it's a story. He's describing about the devotion and love about the towards to God. What he's saying is, he's talking to his own, our own senses, our own parts of body. And we should be able to say to our own parts of body, O tongue, praise the glories of Lord Keshava. O mind, worship the enemy of Mura. Mura, who is the enemy of Mura? Mura is a demon who destroyed by Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu. And so enemy of Mura is Vishnu. So worship the enemy of Mura, O hands. It's, we should say, O hands, serve the Lord of Shri. Shri is Lakshmi. Lord of Shri is husband of Lakshmi, Narayana. And O ears, hear the topics of Lord Achyuta. See, what Adi Shankara said, later Kulashekar Alvar came, and all these are true devotees. And he's also saying same thing. O ears, hear the topics of the Lord Achyuta. Achyuta is Lord Vishnu's another name. And O eyes, gaze upon Sri Krishna. Gaze upon Sri Krishna. And O feet, go to the temple of Lord Sri Hari. Many people say, oh, I have an altar at home. I don't need to go to a temple. Well, of course, you should have an altar at home always. But you should go to temple and invite the Lord from the temple to your altar and connect yourself, because you don't need to go every day. At least once in a week, try to make a time to go to temple. That is the word is saying, oh feet, please go to temple, because if you need to go to temple, your feet has to help you. You need to walk. And what he's saying about the nose, oh nose, smell the tulasi buds on Lord Mukunda's feet, not the tulasi buds on the plant. Offered tulasi from the Lord's feet, you should be able to smell. Many people, we offer flowers to God. That is the reason they say, never and ever smell anything offering to Lord before offering. You can do everything, smell, taste, all this after offering to God, but not before offering to God. And what he's saying in this last stanza is, oh head, bow down to Lord Adhokshaja, because Our head's supposed to, when we do the total surrenderness, the 8 angas, the 8 body parts able to touch, totally lay down on the ground, and we do the namaskar, we should be able to put our head down in front of the Lord. And that comes with ahankara. You have to let go of ahankara, then only you will be able to put our head down in front of the Lord. That is not so easy. Again, I say this Jivatma and Paramatma, Jivatma's journey starts from Paramatma and it ends back at Paramatma. Jivatma's journey, please listen this very carefully. Jivatma's journey starts from Paramatma and ends again and at the lotus feet of Paramatma. That means we come from the blessings of God into this planet Earth. And when they cut the umbilical cord, until then you always remember of your Purva Janma, who you are in before previous birth and what is the connection between the Narayana and all those. But the moment it cuts, then you will start creating your own relationship in this planet. Mother, father, sister, brother, grandfather, grandmother, and uncle. All this relationship comes after you born only. Before you born, there are no relationships. Only relationship is with Lord Narayana. So in this retreat, totally about the devotion, and they're talking about bhakti and reaching, to connect yourself to Supreme Lord. So these 2 shlokas, one is Narada Bhakti Sutra is also talking about the same. Adi Shankara and Sivananda Lahari, and Kulashekara Alvar is talking about how we should control our senses towards to Lord. Because our body parts has to listen to us. It has to be in our control. But many of us, we say, a lot of people doesn't want to wake up early morning. Why they say to wake up early morning? Because of the Brahma Muhurta. When you wake up early morning, your mind has more clarity. Then you can able to concentrate what you want. And that is the best time for the meditation. So you can achieve more through the meditation. And at the same time, even in Sri Bhagavat Puran, in Bhagavat Puran, Prahalada describes about Navada Bhakti. 9 kinds of bhaktis are there, because his father asks, you always praise about Lord, what is the devotion and this and that. So he talks about 9 kinds of bhakti, the devotion. And those are Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnoho, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. The meaning is, how does this love towards to the divine manifest itself? Father asks Prahalada in the Saptama Skanda. There are 9 ways you can show your devotion to the God. The first one is Shravanam, hearing about God, like what you all are doing now, listening about the God is the one of the devotion. And this devotion can be by listening of stories, listening of the mantras, listening of any chanting, is all comes into this category. Second one is Kirtanam, chanting his name and glory. That can be, you can chant a mantra or you can sing a bhajan. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Before my talk, Swamiji was singing all the names of the gods. No, that is the Kirtanam. Whenever you do kirtanam, that is the second way of doing showing your devotion. And mantra, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Shri Matre Namaha, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. These all are different mantras. And you can, and every mantra has a so much power into it. The third one is remembering Lord, smarana. And when you hear about the Lord, we will describe a little bit more about into each one. But smarana is either you think of Lord with devotion or not devotion, but still God will listen to you, but it will have a different karma of action. Your actions will create a reaction. Now, pada sevana, the fourth one is pada sevana, serving his lotus feet. Like, always try to do seva to Lord. Means, not just going to the deity and then holding his feet. That means do the seva, do the karma yoga at the temples, at the ashrams, at the guru's place. All this, when you daily clean your altar, daily keep your altar clean. All these things comes in this pada sevana. Now, fifth one is worshipping him as a archana. Archana is worshipping Lord as per the scriptures, according to the Vedic textbooks. There are pujas, homas. Yesterday you have done the beautiful homa. So, I was supposed to come, but again, there are some circumstances, so I couldn't make it. So I requested Swamiji, so I will do it online only. So it's a, you have to follow the scriptures for the archana. And sixth one is vandana. Vandana is prostrating before Lord, like, offering your salutations every day. And dasya. Dasya means, dasya is being his servant. In Sanatana Dharma, in Vedic tradition, is talk about this very highly, about being a servant to God, being a servant to Guru, being a servant to our own teacher, being a servant to saints, being a servant to a good nature people who teach us is very important. And Sakhya is create friendship with Lord. Like how, Lord Krishna, when he was a small boy, he has so many friends. And all the Radhikas, all the Gopikas are his friends. And last one is Atmanivedana. Atmanivedana means offering oneself to him. That is surrendering ourselves to the Lord. Okay, this 9 types of devotion has a great value in our life. And all of this 9 in Kali Yuga, the best way of doing your devotion is simple way, Kalau Nama Sankirtanat. In Kali Yuga, do the Nama Sankirtana, do the chant of or sing the glory of Lord is the best way. That Nama Sankirtana, the best mantra for Kali Yuga. Daily do it at least 5 to 10 minutes. And this mantra you can do while you are driving, while you are walking, working out, or cooking. Especially when you do this mantra by cooking, your food will also have this essence of the power of the chant. The mantra is Shri Ram Jai Ram, and you can add any tune to it, whatever the tune you want. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. And another chant is Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. And this mantra is especially Kalau Nama Sankirtanat, meaning in the Kali Yuga you can chant the mantra of Lord, and very simple mantra, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. And you can fix your own tune, and you don't need to be a professional singer to do this. And do it in every action of yours. While you are doing a karma yoga, keep chanting this mantra and do it. And I'll tell you one story. Long time back, I was in Canada, and of course, I'm also human. I was going through my Rahu at peak, Rahu Mahadasha. And I was, I was doing the priesthood, but I was working somewhere else also in shipping company. I said to myself, I never thought I will start, temples, or I will be instrumental, I will be traveling the world. I never thought about it. One day, but my habit always, whenever I do any work, I always used to chant my mantras or Hanuman Chalisa or something, because that makes me to give more energy to do. So one day I was doing it, all of suddenly my mind changes. And then I went to my supervisor and I said, I'm quitting my job. And he was surprised. And he was trying to tell me why you are doing this, because he was a very good friend of mine and well-wisher also. So I said, no, I got today something changed in my mind and I want to quit. And he said, if you quit now, you won't get your paycheck. I said, that's fine. I'm quitting now. And I just left from there and I went home and I decided from today onwards, I will do only my dharma, but I'm not going to try any other jobs at all. And then, of course, rest is history. I came into United States and I start moving to different countries. And, it's the life has, the God has shown me a different path. But making long story short, that the supervisor said that check never come to you. The owner of that company, he invited me to do a puja one day in his house. And along with my dakshina, he gave my paycheck also. Panditji, this is your dakshina, your paycheck left when you quit. So, when something is Brahmavapi Shivavapi Lalata Likita Rekha Parimarshtum Nashaktade, something is, you own it from the birth, it's your right. Doesn't matter you take it today or not, one day it will be yours. And your own property never go ever, and nobody cannot take it from you. It will come to you. So that is the power of the chanting. Sometimes we do wrong things. We make mistakes. By doing this chanting, what happens is it brings you into right path. That's exactly happened in my life. Because even though I'm a teacher, now, of course, lot of experience, dealing with people and speaking with people. That is the way we learn. We learn from the teachers, but we practice and we earn the wisdom through our experiences. We learn the knowledge from the teachers, but we earn the wisdom from our experiences and our great gurus, our elders. So chanting has so much power, either mantra or any name of the or bhajan. Anyway, any part of devotion is always very, very important in life. And it can change your life. You cannot even imagine. It happened in my own personal life, and so it can happen to anybody's life. But you have to do it with the total surrenderness. So here, now we will talk a little bit more about this Navadha, 9 kinds of bhakti, what Prahalada described to his father. First one is hearing about God, Shravana, listening to the divine name, his divine form, his qualities, actions, mysteries, etc. Like, how I just said, singing of the glory of Lord Mantra and getting lost in his glorious Leela is known as a Shravana. When we listening the stories of God, when we listening the mantra, we chant, we should be able to forget everything and connect ourselves with Paramatma. That is the Shravana. When we listen, that itself should give our energy and positive energy and forget rest of the world and connect ourselves to the Lord. From should we hear about God, Sri Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, you can get that knowledge by humbly prostrating yourself before a Jnani Guru. How you will get this kind of a listening, the devotion? Go to Guru. Guru is the one who preaches, who gives you because the Shastra, the Vedic literature is saying, when God and Guru comes in front of you, who should you salute first? Usually we all say God. No, Guru, because Guru is the one who is teaching you and showing you, hey, he is the God. Because that is the reason that place, Guru has a very high status. So always go to Guru and listen the glories of God. And Sukadeva narrating Bhagavat Purana to Raja Parikshit, and Parikshit is in this is in Bhagavat Purana. Therefore, the first step in Shravana is you should be a good listener. If you really want to do the true devotee of Lord, you should be a good listener. Listening is very important. The Shravana aspect of bhakti is exemplified most completely in King Parikshit, who listened to the Srimad Bhagavata from a great sage, is Shukadeva. And he was, because why he wants to listen the Bhagavata? Because he knows he is going to be die in 7 days. So he asked his Guru, I want to listen more glory about Lord. Where should I go? Then he said, go to Shukadeva. Shukadeva is the genius, he's the jnani. And he went to him and he want to hear more and more about the Lord. In 7 days, he listened the story of Bhagavata. At the end of the 7th day, he reaches to the Paramatma. That means that is the reason Bhagavat Puran is very important to listen at least once in a lifetime to get our moksha doors open. And it's a very important Bhagavat Puran, they do in a 7 days cycle, and you hear Bhagavat Puran. And Bhagavat Puran talks about the glory of Lord Krishna, Lord Leela. So when you listen the Lord, the Parikshit said, when he was listening to all the glories and stories at the 7th day, before his exit from this planet, he said to his Guru, Shukadeva, "Oh Guruji, I'm now totally at peace. I'm not afraid of death. Let it come to me in any form now. I'm totally fearless. Abhaya." That, we all think, oh, death is something we all try to escape. But Bhagavat Puran, by listening the glory of that strength you get, the positiveness you get, so then you're able to achieve your goals while you are in this planet. Now, second one is Kirtana. Kirtana consists of chanting aloud God's divine name and glories of his form, his qualities, his mysteries, and his leelas. And in the process of chanting, experience the extreme thrill culminating in tears and lightning and of the heart. Like, when you sing the glory of Lord, you may be more emotional. That's okay. Cry. Try, instead of crying in front of your friends or in front of your parents or in front of your anybody, go and cry in front of the God. That is the best way of crying. Because when you cry, God listens to you. But when you cry, in that cry, Lord should be able to hear your heart. The kirtana has to come from your heart. Again, for everything, your mind has to be present there. And how you can bring the mind into presence? You need to control that mind. You need to tell the mind, oh mind, do this. And you have to keep training it. Like, any animal, your pet, you keep training. The first day, the pet won't listen to you. You have to keep training him. So our parts of our body is also like a pet. They all are. We have to train those pets bring into right karma into our life. Reconstruct. And second thing is in the Bhakti Sutra, Narada Bhakti, as he says, that is the supreme love towards to the God. According to the Narada Bhakti Sutra, reconstructing devotion, the very embodiment of Kirtana is the reversed sage Narada. Revered sage Narada. In fact, Narada, in the act of Kirtana, that he was actually happy when he curse was placed on him, that he would not be able to stay in one place and would have to roam around all three worlds, because that is his curse, to roam around. So he was very happy and he was chanting all the time, Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Instead of laminating this curse, he welcomed it, that curse, saying that it would be enable him to spread the Lord's name and glory. See, he got a curse, you can't stay one place. So then he decided, okay, I welcome that curse, and I will keep this curse with me, because I will roam around the world, but I will keep chanting, spreading the name of Lord. And that is the reason everywhere he goes, Narayana, 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 he always says that. If you, I don't know whether ever heard about Narada. Narada is that sage who creates the knowledge, who gives the direction in our life. Now, smarana, one of the another kind of bhakti, the devotion. Smarana is thinking of Lord's name, thinking of God. Smarana means the constant remembrance of the God. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the one who see me in everything and everything in me, I am always present for him and he is always present for me. In the 6th Adhyaya, 30th Shloka. Therefore, always keep me in mind and then enter the battle of life. When you say, oh Lord, I'm doing this with your help, and you go into your battle of life, definitely you will get success. Undoubtedly, you will attain unto me. And that is the word, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mameka Sharanam Vraja. Come and surrender to me. Rest is, I will take care. The one who does not ruminate and anything else but constantly remembers me only, he finds it easy to reach me. There was a king, and king announced in the town, whoever come and see me, I'm sitting in today from this time to this time on my garden, and then come and find me where I am and reach me, I will give you half of the kingdom. So in the town, everybody started going into the garden. The moment they enter from the gates, every person in town, they were mesmerized. The beauty of the garden. Somebody is mesmerized with the flowers, somebody is mesmerized with the colors, somebody is mesmerized with something. But they came into this garden for a reason, to find the king. But the moment they enter into this gate, they forgot about their journey and they start thinking of colors, flowers, this, that. But one beggar who entered from the gate, and he directly went to the center of the garden where king was sitting. And king announced it. Okay, game is over. Somebody found me and he is the winner. And I'm giving half of my kingdom to him. And that beggar became a very rich and wealthy. This is just a story I'm giving you to show you the example. The garden is this beautiful samsara. We are in the world. God has sent us from wherever we come from Paramatma to our mother's womb, and we entered into this gates of samsara. And why this janma in this form of human? Because human form is the only form you can attain moksha, no other form. So we came and we need to find the jewel where the king is sitting, that God, that Paramatma. But the moment we come into this world, we forget the Paramatma. We go into, okay, nice cars, nice buildings, nice house. We need to make money. We need to travel. Or this scene is good. This scenery is good. We get into this worldly maya and we forget the real jewel where is sitting in Paramatma. So that is the word we need to bring into this Navada Bhakti through the devotion and create our own selves. And this is not that mean I'm saying, okay, leave everything and do only devotion. You can do everything in devotion. You can achieve a higher status of mind and higher status of presence in your work and make lots of money. Everything is fine, but do it with the devotion. Then you will have a more better opportunities in life to be happy. And as for the Srimad Bhagavatam, what they say, the mind which think of material objects become attached to those very objects. However, the mind which is constantly remembers me merges into me. This is in Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Krishna says that. And Narasimha in the Smarana, because the Prahalada's dad, the father, he's a demon. He's a Hiranyakashipa. Hiranyakashipu, he thinks he is the God, and he does not want to be treated anyone higher than him. But Prahalada, he always says Vishnu is the Lord, Vishnu is the God, Narayana, Narayana. So he says, one day he was fed up and he said, what do you talk about Vishnu? Who is Vishnu? Where will be he? So he said, you can call him at any name, he will be there. At any place, he will be existing. At any time, he can come. To fulfill the true devotee, Prahalada, his words, because he said to his father, you can find him at anywhere. He can find him at any time. You can call him at whatever the form. So immediately the father, the Prahalada's father, showed a pillar in the building and he said, can you show your Lord in this pillar? See, think of the power of devotion, the power of chant. The Prahalada said, yes, you can try. So immediately he broke that pillar and the big giant, like a very fearful form of Narasimha came out of that. Why that Narasimha came? Because this Hiranyakashipu has a boon from Brahma. He cannot be killed by any weapons or in the morning, or in the evening, or at the night, or not in the neither in on earth, neither on sky. So he cannot be he cannot killed in, or he cannot be killed by male or female or human or an animal. These are his boons. So God has created a new avatara, new form to kill this Hiranyakashipu. Is a Narasimha, half lion and half body, half human. And he did not born like every other person born. How he came? From the pillar. And what time? It was the evening time, neither morning nor night. And what he used to kill the Hiranyakashipu? No weapons. He used his nails, because Hiranyakashipu did not ask boon from, oh, I cannot kill by nails. He thought nails are small thing. Nobody will killed by nails. So he used his nails to just open his stomach. And how? He sat at the doorstep, and he put his body on his laps, and then he killed him. But see, that is also a blessing, by killed by Lord. But why? The Hiranyakashipu was thinking smarana. He was thinking of Lord. Even he does not like him. Even though you don't like somebody, still you take his name. That means you're thinking of him. So that is also a good way. But when you add devotion to that smarana, you will get moksha. Of course, Hiranyakashipu was later liberated to Vaikuntha, because Hiranyakashipu is none other than the gatekeepers of Lord Vishnu. That is another story. So Smarana is an inspiring example of Smarana is Prahalada, who due to his constant remembrance of God was able to perceive him anywhere. In fact, when his evil father ridiculed him, saying that if God was everywhere, why did he not show up in the pillar in front of them? The father then kicked the pillar, out of which sprang Lord Narasimha, validating the truth of Prahlada's conviction. If we are true devotee of Lord, Lord will validate our words. To validate our words, he will come into that form, whatever we are saying. That is the reason our speech has so much power. When you speak the truth, when you speak about the glory of God, your speech will get a more value. Now, the next bhakti is Pada Sevana, serving his lotus feet. In the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, the chapter that says, only till we have not taken recourses to the lotus feet of the Lord is there any cause of concern from money, family, etc., which otherwise are a cause of fear and dukkha. Many people say, oh, I want to do the seva, but I'm busy with my family, my kids, my father, my mother, my wife, my husband. This is all, or we make excuses. You can find time when you want. So do with the devotion, with the dedication, definitely the serving to lotus feet will help. Sesha Sai Vishnu in Yoga Nidra, when Lord always when he lay down, always Mahalakshmi, the goddess of wealth, she do the seva to his lotus feet. The obvious example of this kind of bhakti is our mother, goddess Lakshmi, who is seen in constant service of Lord Vishnu. When she is the giver for everything in life. She is doing seva to Lord Vishnu. Why can't we do? Now, worshipping him as the scriptures, there's the Archanam. Next bhakti is Archanam, according to the Vedas. Archana consists of physical worship of God in the form of an idol or fire, using a correct rituals, upacharas, as prescribed in the scriptures and Vedas. These rituals consist of procedures like bathing and clothing and deity to the deity, and also offering him scents, food, and essentials, and all other material things to the deity, to offer our salutations to the deity. As Sri Krishna puts in the Gita, whatever is offered to me, whether it be a leaf, flower, fruit, or water, if it is done with the bhakti, I accept it. Patram pushpam phalam toyam ye me bhaktya prayachati. Means, if you are offering something to me, I'm not asking you to offer millions of dollars or tons of fruits or only expensive fruits. Recently, I heard one mango is selling in India somewhere for 100,000 rupees. God never wants that. God is saying, whatever you are offering, patram, leaf, pushpam, a flower, patram, pushpam, phalam, a fruit, or toyam, a water, you offer with devotion. Keep your devotion within it. I accept it. So that is the reason. Oh, I'm offering 1,000 coconuts, I'm offering 1,000 flowers. Does not matter. You offer 100,000 also without devotion. You offer with devotion with one leaf, your life can make it much better. There is a Lord Krishna's wife, Rukmini and Satyabhama. Satyabhama represents for egoistic, even though she is the wife of Lord Krishna. Rukmini represents for the devotion. One day they do the Tulabharam. This is also a story from Bhagavatam. Tulabharam is they want to what do you call this? They want to weigh their bhakti. They want to see who is true devotee of Lord Krishna. Satyabhama says, I will do Tulabharam with all my jewelry, all my wealth. And Krishna sat in one side of the scale, and on the other side of the scale, they put a lot of gold and everything. And still, Krishna's still heavy. They cannot able to scale him. When Rukmini came and she offered one leaf of tulasi, and the scale got centered. That meaning is, when you offer with devotion, even a leaf of tulasi can make difference in life. So that is the word very important, archanam. And Srimad Bhagavata, the holy book of God, is a very, very important to read, everybody. You may not be able to read the Sanskrit shloka, but read the translation is very important. You can understand the devotion, you can understand about the glory of Lord. And an example of Archana Bhakti is that of King Pruthu, which is the Pruthu in the Srimad Bhagavatam, who satisfied Sri Vishnu with the selfless Vedic sacrifices he performed, so much so that the Lord presented himself in person before the king. So when you offer these rituals, you will gain the Lord's blessing. The next bhakti is devotion is vandana. Vandana is salutations. Vandana means prostrating one's before the Lord. There are different examples. Who is a Akrura? Akrura, another great personality in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The great Bhakta Akrura could not contain himself when he entered in Vrindavana. He was overcome with emotion, and he consequent surge of affection for Krishna made his hair stand on his end, and the overflowing eyes began to shed tears. Akrura jumped onto the land of Vrindavana and rolled around. Oh, this is the dust touched by the feet of my beloved Lord. Vrindavana is the one of the place everyone should visit and get the blessings, because that land is the land of God who walked once upon a time, long time back. Just the moment you entered into that land, take some dust and put it on your forehead. You can feel the energy. On going further, he saw Krishna milking the cow in Vrindavana, the Akrura. The physical beauty of Lord overwhelmed Akrura so much that he rushed down to prostrated himself at the feet of Lord Krishna. He totally surrendered on his feet. Understanding Akrura's mental state, Krishna helped him to his feet, draw him to his heart, and then embraced his beloved devotee. Like, he gave him a good hug and take him to close to his heart. That is the God's power when you surrender to him. Next level of devotion is dasyam. Dasyam is being his servant. The best service when you go to a temple, go and clean the temple. Anywhere if you see, even trash bags, clean. And even devotees' shoes, if you keep, you clean the shoes of devotees, also a great servant to be a God. Because God is there, the devotee is coming to temple to serve the God, and when you serve that servant, in the Suprabhatam, what they say is dasa dhidasa charama vadidasa dasa, means, oh Lord, I am your servant. So please bless me. So being a servant is a very wonderful thing, but our ahankara, our ego does not allow to be a servant to somebody. We say, servant? Servant is the biggest thing. And whenever you do serve to someone, think Lord in them, automatically your service will connect with the devotion. Being itself service of God, fulfilling his intentions and unquestioningly, obeyingly all his orders is known as dasya. The most powerful embodiment of this kind of bhakti is undoubtedly, you can see in Hanuman. Because Lord Hanuman is a great servant of Rama. In the one of the name of 108 names of Hanuman, Sri Sita Rama Seva Dhurandhara Yai Namaha, means he is a great servant to Lord Sita and Lord Rama, and declared himself he is a great servant. Being a servant of God means leaving aside one's most important work to be respectfully do the Lord's bidding. Many people say, oh, can we do some seva in the temple? Oh, I have a meeting. I have this. That is all we are doing for our socializing. We give importance to our socializing parties, but because of that, we say, I don't have a time for the service in the temple. So when you do service, nothing comes first. Service is the first. Leaving all of one's own desires to fulfill his desire, considering even the greatest effort done for him to be very small, thinking his ownership over our body to be greater than even our own, understanding that our wealth, life, body, etc. is useful only as long as it is an use of God, and so on. Hanuman had all these qualities. And no wonder that Sri Rama embraced him, saying, "You are more dear to me than ever, even Lakshmana." Lakshmana is his own brother. Lord Rama said, "You are more dear to me than Lakshmana because of your devotion." Now, next level of devotion is Sakhya, means being a friend to God. Sakhya means personal friendship with God. A friendship in which there is a constant desire to stay in his company, and one enjoys conversation only with him and becomes extremely pleased on the mere mention of one's friends from a third person. Krishna himself tells us, "Who is friend, O Arjuna? You are both my friend and bhakta." In the Bhagavad Gita, the battlefield, Lord Krishna is, when he narrated the Gita to Arjuna, he says to Arjuna, "O Arjun, you are my true devotee and true friend also." In the 4th chapter, 3rd shloka. The Mahabharata, also describing about the stories of friendship of Krishna and Arjuna, abound because Arjuna and Sri Krishna is called of Nara and Narayana avatara of Lord Vishnu. Nara avatar is the human avatara is of Lord Vishnu, is Arjuna, and Narayana avatara is Lord Krishna himself. Narratives shows how they indulged in the light banter, sports, etc., which provides us with an ample glimpse into the nature of their mutual friendship. When, can we be a friend to Lord? Can you be a friend to a goddess? Yes, you can. But you have to come and, if you come once in a month or once in a year to temple, you can be a friend. You can be a visitor. You can be a guest. If you want to connect yourself and create a friendship with the God, come and constantly connect with the God. Offering oneself to him is Atma Nivedanam, which is the last devotion in 9 types of devotion. Offering oneself wholly, including all of one material possessions, with firm conviction, is known as Atma Nivedana. The example of such surrender is King Bali. Bali Chakravarti, Bali is the one of the king, and of course he is a demon. And Vamana, in the avatara of Vamana, the incarnation of Vamana, Lord Vishnu, he asked 3 steps of land, 3 foot of land. So he said, okay, he's a small boy. He's asking only 3 feet, even though I can give more. So he said, okay, take 3 feet. And his guru, the Bali's guru was saying, the boy is not just an ordinary boy. He is a avatara, he is a form of Lord Vishnu. He has a plan to destroy you. So, but the king Bali said, I gave him a word. I will honor it. So first feet, Lord took the whole earth. In 1 foot of Lord covered the everything, all the planet Earth. Second foot, he covered with the rest of the universe. Now Bali said, "Oh Lord, with your 2 feet, everything is gone. I don't have anything to give except myself. Please put your 3rd foot on me." So Lord says, Tadhastu, and he put his 3rd foot on his head, and he pushed him into the Patala Loka. So Atma Nivedanam, we have to learn in our life how we offer ourselves to the God. That is a great example is devotee, the king Bali, who was asking by a Brahmin boy for a piece of land equivalent to the distance measured by the latter's 3 footsteps. The Brahmin, who was none other than the Vamana Avatara of Lord Vishnu, measured out of all the worlds, with only 2 of his steps, and finally they reminded nowhere to place the third. So Lord surrendered, the king given himself to the Lord. This is about the Vamana Purana. Seeing that there was no place left for Vamana's last step, Bali, bowing for him, requested him to place the third foot on his head. In the end, after having thus given of everything, did the king feel any remorse of bitterness? No. In fact, this is what he said: "Thank you, Lord, for your grace. Indeed, when we become blind with pride due to our own wealth and power, you, by taking away our money, gives us back our eyes." In the Srimad Bhagavatam. This was the glories of Bali, who gave up his life, his all, everything to Lord. So it's a beautiful story of this Navada Bhakti. Of course, I can keep going on this subject, and I think Swamiji gave me only 1 hour, and I think I have gone more than 1 hour. Yes, Swamiji?
The classes. We have another class now.
Say it again. I just unmuted you.
No, I said you have given me only 1 hour, but I can keep going on the stories more and more. But
Another class now.
I know you have a rest of the schedule for today. So, of course, I took these stories and everything. I didn't have any much time to prepare any slides, but next time I will do the same thing with the proper pictures. Also, I can show you some slides. But this all references I took from different books and of Prabhupada and Shankaracharya and different. Of course, is all are written by great sages and Srimad Bhagavat Puran and Bhagavad Gita. Thanks to all the literature. And the Vedic tradition is a treasure of wealth with the knowledge and wisdom. So much we have about the devotion, and this retreat is all about the devotion and spiritual practice. So you all are spiritual friends and spiritual family. Thank you very much giving me this opportunity, Swamiji, Swami Sitaramananda ji, Swami Gyaneshwari ji, Swami Shivashankari ji, Swami Adishakti, Swami Dharma. All of you, thank you very much. And this long weekend, I couldn't spend time with you personally in person, but I'm very happy to spend this way also. Thank you very much. And I conclude with the last prayer. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahi Tejasvinameditavastu ma vidvishavahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. By the way, if you have anybody have any questions, feel free to ask.
We're going to stand up for the arati. Thank you.